Hey, what's going on? It's Jeff here, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the idea of being ready and how being ready helps you in your personal and professional life. Now, before we kickstart that conversation, if you'd like to get more tips and information like this, subscribe, like, and share this channel. All right, let's get into it. Hey, and welcome back. All right, so what is this idea of being ready and how does it help you in your personal and professional life? Well, I'm sure that at some point in your life, probably today, probably multiple times, you've already figured this out, right? Being ready does help you. But I think a lot of times we kind of take that for granted. And I'm going to show you a clip here of something that happened to me this past week. I think it was pretty cool. And before I show you that video, I just want to preface it by saying this, that I have no musical talent whatsoever. I can't sing. I can play the guitar a little bit, but I have to tell you the chords or the song that I'm going to play before I play it. And then you're kind of like, yeah, I think that does kind of sound like that song. So I'm going to show you a clip here. It's a video clip of something that happened to me this past week. My family and I went on a cruise, and I just want to give a shout out here to my in-laws for paying for that. So thanks again to my in-laws for doing that. I really appreciate that. We had a fun time. It was a blast. And so what happened? We were on this cruise. We went to the U.S. Virgin Islands and the British Virgin Islands, and it was like probably 7-8 days that we were on this cruise. And around the fourth or fifth day on the cruise, if you've ever been on a cruise, they have some of them have different shows that you can watch. You know, they do plays and things like that. They also had special talent that they had on the cruise that did different shows, you know, entertainment shows. And so this one group is called Junk Percussion Group. It's Junnk. And we went to the show. And I'll just tell you right away, this was an amazing show. I mean, there was so much energy in that. And I was, while we were in this, watching the show, what happened was early on, probably within the first, probably 20 minutes, they were looking out in the crowd. And as they were looking out in the crowd, where I was sitting on the end, probably third or fourth row. And at this one point, within 20 minutes, they're looking around the crowd and they're looking kind of in my direction. And you probably already know where this is going. And so then they looked at me and the guy pointed at me and said, "You." And I was like, "Me?" He said, "Yeah." So he asked me to come up on stage. Now, I'm kind of going up there going, I sure hope he doesn't make me play the drums or do some musical instrument, because that's going to be an epic fail for this show, because I have no musical talent. So they sit me down kind of on this treasure chest bench, that sort of thing. But before I show you this video clip, I want to go over this component or this idea of being ready. And the reason why I'm bringing that up and the reason why I'm showing this video clip and I'm telling you this story is because in that moment, as I was sitting at the end of the row towards the front, in a way, I was already, I was hoping that I could get picked at some time, not necessarily for that show, but other shows that we were watching. We try to get to the end and to the front. Maybe they would call on, my daughter or my son to go up there or something like that, or somebody else that we went with in my family. Maybe that would be kind of fun because they were calling audience members up. And we thought, well, this might be a fun thing to do. And one or two of those occasions on some of those shows, we sat in the middle and we had no chance, no opportunity at all to get picked. Because if you watch a show like that, they pretty much will get somebody towards the front and towards the end of the row because it's easier to get out. In that moment, in that show, I was in the front. I was on the outside, very outside portion of that row, right there by the aisle. And by doing that, I was letting that group, that individual that called me out, I was letting him know that I'm ready. Okay? I'm anticipating potentially being picked. And if you do that, it's going to be easy for me to walk up on stage. As you watch this video, hopefully you won't laugh too much about, how much I messed up. But I hope what you get out of this video is not necessarily what you see watching it, because I think it is really cool what they do. And again, this is just a small portion of what they do. Their biggest thing that they do is what they do with the drums and the dancing and all that sort of stuff. But I just want you to be thinking about, what is it in your life, personally and or professionally, that maybe you're not letting others know, or maybe even letting yourself know that you're being ready. And so with that, as you're thinking about that, I want you to kind of think about this. What does God want me to be ready about? What is it in my life that I'm not having this eagerness, I'm not having this anticipation, and that I'm not preparing for? And so as you think about those two questions, I'm hoping that maybe this is going to encourage you in some way to, and this is if you're not, to maybe take those steps, maybe one small step to be prepared, to be ready on something. And as I think about that, and as you think about that, practically, right now, if you're struggling finding a job, or maybe displaced out of a position or something like that, and you're right now sending resumes and you're trying to show a potential employer that you're far and above somebody else and that they should consider you for an interview, then if you're not showing them that you're ready, you're not taking some extra steps, you're not getting out in the forefront, whether it's calling them after you send an email, whether it's texting them, whether it's following up after you send an email, whatever that is, if you're not showing that company that you're ready, then chances are you may be missing opportunities. Now, you could be missing opportunities in other ways. You could be, let's say you're a dad or your mom, and you're not letting your kids know that you're ready to spend time with them. And I've talked on other podcasts about this, about being ready is letting your children know that you're intentionally taking time to spend with them. And I don't remember the podcast episode here right off the bat, but I'll put the link to that podcast episode in the description of this video. But one of the things that I will say here is, if you have kids, that you need to let them know that you're ready to spend time with them. In terms of personal readiness, one of the ways that you can be ready is just by getting up early in the morning, taking some time to spend with God, spending that time with God first in the morning, praying, reading scripture. And I've talked about this on several other podcast episodes as well, and I'll try to put the links in there in the video description that you can go to and listen to those. I'm going to put a link here to my homepage, because I do have my one book, Faith Without Fear. I talk about being ready to share the gospel, to share the love of God to those around you. And that's the big component of that book. It doesn't just teach you how to share your faith, but it shows you how to be ready. And for me, that's really the biggest component. That's, to me, the most important thing that God wants from us, is letting him know that we're ready. We're ready to be used by him. And he will use you to make an impact in the lives of others. So I hope you enjoy this video clip, and I may come on afterwards and just kind of, reset the stage and say, hey, hopefully it wasn't too bad, and just to close this down. But again, I hope you enjoy this video.
Don't screw it up, Jeff.
No way.
Yeah, Jeff!
One time practice through. We'll point to you when it's your go. Yes, sir. Okay.
Full time screw. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I'm getting it.
Stand up.
Yeah! Yeah! Can I have your autograph?
All right. Well, what did you think of the video? Were you laughing a lot at me or were you laughing with me? I hope it was with me. And I hope also you were entertained by what those guys did. And hopefully I wasn't too bad. Now, again, we were talking about here the idea of being ready and how it helps you in terms of your personal life and your professional life. And again, I was showing you that video not to show you what I was doing on stage because let's be honest, it wasn't really that good. It was to really reiterate this idea of being ready personally and being ready professionally will help you in the long term. It's going to help you on a daily basis. And you know, if we're not ready, we may be passed up on a lot of opportunities just because somebody else may be showing their preparation, showing their eagerness and their ability to be ready. And they may not even have the same skill sets or even the same experience or education that you have. But yet, because they're ready, they have that opportunity. So again, I hope by showing this, I hope it encouraged you to maybe make that small step or those small steps or changes where you can actually be ready more your personal and professional life.